Alright, this is John Kohler with DiscountJuicers.com. Today we have another exciting episode for you. In this episode, I'm going to show you guys the best juicer to juice apples in 2025 that makes juicing apples the easiest so you could do the least work and have the most apple juice. I reviewed other juicers where I compared different juicer styles, including a high-speed juicer, including a slow juicer, and a hydraulic press juicer. Juicing apples. I'll put a link down below to that original episode so you guys can see the full detailed version. But basically what I got from that episode and what I recommend these days is I recommend using a slow juicer because it's going to be the least effort for you, and more importantly, it's going to make the highest quality juice based on the published studies. The next thing I will say is that the reason why I'm recommending the Kuvings Auto10 is because you can have the largest hopper on the market, which means you can fit the most amount of apples in the hopper without cutting at once. When you buy the Kuvings Auto10, it comes with the 3-liter hopper stock, and then you can buy for about $30 the hopper extension. This hopper extension is 1.3 liters, so it expands this hopper from 3 liters, add this on, and now instantly we go to 4.3 liters. This hopper is huge. I've juiced basically a whole pack of 5 pounds of carrots. Links down below to that video in the Auto10 with the 1.3 liter hopper extension. Now to remind you guys, most juicers these days come with a 2-liter hopper. This is from a leading manufacturer. This is their hopper that comes on their machine. It is 2 liters. And then some companies may make you purchase an additional whole hopper to increase the size of the hopper. So now you have a 2-liter hopper and a 3-liter hopper. Whereas with this machine, you just have a hopper extension, which in my opinion is a much more eloquent, upgrade. So now I want to see how many apples will fit in a 2-liter hopper versus a 4.3 liter hopper, which is 115 times larger than the 2-liter. Not only is it taller, but it also has a greater diameter, and the greater diameter is really where you can fit a lot more apples in. So we have literally 12 apples here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I went to college or something. I could count to 12. All right, so let's see how many apples we could fit in. All right, so we got 1 apple, 2 apples, 3 apples. All right, we got 3 apples in there. 4, 5. Let's see if we could even fit 6. Can't even fit. Oh, we could cram in 6. All right. We got 6 apples, and then it won't even close. If I cram this down, I could probably get it to shut. They wouldn't recommend you do that. But nonetheless, we got 6 apples in there in a 2-liter hopper. Next up, let's see how many we could fit in the Kuvings Auto10 with hopper extension. All right, ready? We're gonna go down. So basically on the base of the 2-liter, we have 3 apples. On the base of this one, we could fit an entire 4 apples on the base. So basically every layer we fit in will be approximately 4 apples. All right, so we got 4 in there, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And we got some room to spare. 12 apples, guys. No problem. That's over twice as many as the 2-liter hopper. So that means more apples that you put in at once. You turn it on, walk away. It juices all 12 apples without you. That's the main difference, without you having to come back and fill it up again. If I want to cut the apples in half or even in quarters, then I would be able to more effectively fill up this hopper with all the extra space that a round apple will not fit in. And then I could maybe even fit 15 or 16 apples by cutting them into pieces. That being said, I know a lot of you guys don't want to cut things in pieces. Throw them in there, shut the lid, walk away, come back when it's empty and add more apples, shut the lid, and it'll keep juicing for you. Now the other reason why I like the Kuvings Auto10 with hopper extension, that is truly the largest hopper on the market at this time. I would call this the XL, the true XL hopper juicer. Besides having the largest hopper available for you guys to use at home, is that Kuvings also includes, they don't try to nickel and dime you selling you extra components. They include these very important attachments that I want to share with you guys. Installed in the machine when you buy it is the fine hole juicing screen. This allows you to juice various fruits and vegetables. Also, you can make nut milks with it, which I don't recommend. And they also include at no additional cost the properly designed sorbet attachment that is designed to basically crush up your frozen fruits to make a frozen fruit sorbet. And unlike some companies where they send out the frozen fruit sorbet out of the pulp catch, which is basically a workaround in my opinion, Kuvings sends it out actually the juice spout, which is where it should come out. All right, so I do like that, BPA free. Kuvings also includes the special, no additional cost, true smoothie attachment. This allows you to make low RPM smoothies in your Kuvings Auto10 juicer. It basically has a larger hole size, and it does not allow the pulp to come out of the pulp exit chute, which is what other machines do. So this allows you to make a true smoothie at low RPM. So these are major advantages of the Kuvings Auto10 or even Auto10 Plus version. In addition, Kuvings, unlike other manufacturers, provide you with 3 different cleaning brushes, my favorite of which is this one. This makes cleaning the juicing screen very simple and easy. You simply take this, you put it inside here, you put this down, and then you clip it in place, and all you need to do now is you spin the juicing screen, and on the inside there's brushes that are brushing the holes, and on the outside there's like plastic razor blade scrapers that are scraping the pulp off the screen. Instead of sitting there scrubbing with a small little oversized toothbrush, Kuvings makes it easier with their perfectly designed screen cleaning tool. I hope other companies come out of the screen cleaning tool because it makes cleaning that much easier, which means you're going to juice that much more often. Besides all these parts that are included with the Kuvings Auto10, because they're not trying to nickel and dime you, sell you extra things to make additional profit, they include it all in one shebang. Kuvings does have one separate attachment you can purchase, which is the optional citrus attachment. If you take off the juicing parts on the machine, you can drop this citrus attachment onto the juicer, and this instantly turns this into a citrus reamer that you can now basically cut oranges in half, limes, grapefruits, ream it out, and create the orange juice. That being said, while many people may like this, I'll link down below a video I made on how to make a 7 to 11 times more nutritious orange juice by juicing oranges in the standard juicer parts without any additional purchase. That being said, this citrus attachment makes juicing oranges and other citrus fruits really easy in the Kuvings Auto10. Alright guys, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and get juicing those 12 apples that easily fit into the Kuvings Auto10 with the hopper extension, giving us a whopping 4.3 liters of space to put whatever fruit and vegetable we want to juice in there. Today I'm doing apples because it is apple season now, and I know I'm going to get a lot of inquiries on, John, what's the best juice to juice apples? And I'm going to say it's the Kuvings Auto10 with hopper extension. Now, one of the reasons why I like the Kuvings Auto10 for juicing apples as well as other fruits and vegetables is because of this study. We'll pop it up on the screen. The title is called Health Benefits of Apple Juice Consumption, a review of the international trials on humans. So they basically gave humans apple juice, different kinds of apple juices, and they found out what had the most health benefits. So we're going to jump down to the discussion area and read this one paragraph that pretty much sums up this study. Link down below to the study if you guys want to review it yourself. It says, in most studies, cloudy apple juice appeared superior to clear apple juice regarding health benefits. Clear apple juice is more filtered than cloudy apple juice, and the later is therefore much closer to the whole fruit. Clear apple juice has a lower content in dietary fibers, phytochemicals, and other components that are present in the cell wall than clear apple juice. So what are they saying? They're saying basically when you make a cloudy apple juice that's not super clear, that you can't see through, that has some particulate in there, not only the soluble fiber like pectin, but even some of the insoluble fibers that make up some of the fine particulate, or the insoluble fiber in apples, you're going to get greater health benefit. In general, I don't recommend juicing fruits these days, but I know a lot of you guys are just going to juice fruits anyways. These studies that show juicing apples, they also share to not drink more than 250 milliliters of juice, apple juice, or other fruit juices in a day for the best health outcomes. So 250 milliliters would be about 8 ounces of apple juice a day. If you do want to juice apples with other fruits and vegetables, I would recommend, the 80-20 rule, 80% vegetables, 20% fruits, just to get those vegetables to taste sweet enough so you actually drink it. That being said, I know plenty of you guys watching this have apple trees and love apple juice and want to just drink your apple juice. So that's why I'm making this video for you guys. But you guys now know the truth. You guys want to drink a more filtered apple juice that has more particulate and more fiber, more pectin, more polyphenols, and other health benefits. So with that, let's get juicing in the Kuvings Auto10 with hopper extension. 4.3 liters, 12 apples in there. First, let's go ahead and turn it on and hit the start button. We're gonna find out how long the Kuvings Auto10 takes to juice all 12 apples. So we're gonna go ahead and speed this part of the video up for you guys to save you guys some time. Alright guys, so the Kuvings Auto10 juiced all 12 apples without me. You can see it worked without me doing anything. We have over 1 liter of juice, maybe like 34, 35 ounces. You know when the machine is done, when the pulp stops moving out and the juice stops dripping out. So now we can turn off the machine, we can close this spout cap, and we can move out our pitcher that has over 1,000 milliliters of the pure apple juice. As you could notice, the juice started to turn brown. That's because of the polyphenol oxides. When we break open cell walls, that's the oxidation happening to the juice. I would recommend drinking the juice right after you make it. That being said, if you are making large quantities, then I would recommend storing your juice. This is very important, guys. We want to stop the polyphenol oxidase from breaking down the nutrients in the juice. So we're going to use a standard wide mouth mason jar. We're going to go ahead and pour in the apple juice. You don't want to pour in too much, so we're going to probably pour in, I like to pour it up to the 800 milliliter line on the jar, so we have some head space, because we will be pulling oxygen, dissolved oxygen, out of the juice. Of course, I'm going to pour a little bit of the apple juice here to drink myself, to try it for you guys on camera. But before we do, we're going to go ahead and use the Pure MVP vacuum system. These are stainless steel lids that are 4 times thicker than standard mason jar lids, 100% stainless steel with reusable silicone gaskets that can last a lifetime. In addition, we're going to use the Pure MVP vacuum pump. Oh, we're at 5 minutes to stop that. I don't know, I think we stopped maybe at like 3.5 minutes for juicing all 12 apples, because I didn't check it, but you guys probably saw in the video. Nonetheless, we are using the Pure MVP vacuum pump. This vacuum pump is the strongest food storage vacuum pump that I've ever tested. If you guys want proof that the Pure MVP is the strongest, link down below where I basically buy 10 different Amazon pumps and compare it against the Pure with a meter to learn how much oxygen is removed out of a jar. The Pure MVP is it. And I'll link down below to another video I recently made that talks about you need to remove a certain percentage of oxygen to basically de-air the juice. You want to de-air the juice. There's dissolved oxygen in the juice that causes the juice to spoil. It's not the oxygen on the top or in the head space, which what they used to tell you in the 70s, or told me in the 70s. Jay Cordage always told me, fill it up to the brim, John, and then cap it off so there's no airspace in there. That's great because there's no airspace on the head space, but the problem is all the dissolved oxygen in the juice itself. So we're just going to go ahead and pump this a number of times. All right, I pumped it like 10 times, guys. Can you guys see that on the camera? Like now in the head space, it's full of oxygen. If you could closely see in here, there's a lot of bubbles literally coming up from out of the juice into the head space. This only happens at above like 70% oxygen removal. This pump removes 80 to 85%. That's why I recommend using it. You know, once there's a lot of oxygen come up, then you're just going to go ahead, tap this down to get to any additional bubbles out that you may be seeing float up, and then we'll get the condensed juice on the bottom again. And then you're going to pump a few more times. If you pump too much, then you're going to start sucking the air bubbles or the foamy juice out, which is actually just juice that has foam in it that'll recondense into juice. So you want to just do a few pumps at a time. Then you're going to go ahead and once again tap this down to get the air bubbles rushing up to the top. Then once again you're going to go ahead and continue to pump. And you know, if I fill this lower, you could just pump a lot before the air bubbles hit the top. That's why I didn't fill it up too much, but filled it up probably a little bit too much. Maybe you could have filled it to 750 mil. Nonetheless, you guys can see more and more of our juice is now free of the air bubbles, and we're going to go ahead and continue this process off camera until I got all the air bubbles out. John, how do you know when you've got the most air out? So if you are pumping, and it's going to get more difficult to pump, and you'll be more resistance on the pump, and if at a certain point you keep pumping and there's about the same amount of resistance and the resistance is not increasing, you've known you've achieved MVP, or maximum vacuum pressure, or maximum oxygen removal. Now, if I keep this juice cold in the fridge, I can store for up to 5 to 7 days. Think about it, you know, after you make 1 quart, you store 1 quart, this juicer is still running for the next few minutes. You make the next quart, you have another jar ready, you put it in the jar, you vacuum seal it, put it in your fridge, good for up to a week. This way, you can literally juice lots of apples, get them stored up, whether you want to turn these into hard cider, or you know, you can also freeze juices if you don't fill it past the shoulder mark. On these jars, I like to vacuum seal when I freeze. You know, that's going to lock your juices in for longer, although probably freezing in plastic would be a better idea. So what you might want to do is you might want to basically first remove the oxygen out of the juice like this in this jar, then pour this in a plastic container, you know, like old water bottles, for example, and then freeze them. That way, you know, there's not dissolved oxygen that's trapped inside the juice that then will oxidize your juice at a later point. This way you'll have fresher juice if you do choose to freeze. That being said, I always encourage you guys to drink it fresh, or a better way would be actually to ferment it, make a hard cider, or you could even put like a bacteria called Saccharomyces boulardii, stored at about 100 degrees, and in just 1 or 2 days, you could actually have a carbonated apple juice with a reduced sugar content, so you're still going to get the benefits. Actually, that's probably what I'm going to do this juice right here. Link down below to my video on how to make a fermented juice. Nonetheless, I want to go ahead and taste test the apple juice, Fuji apple juice I made in the Kuvings Auto10 with hopper extension. Wow, that's a good juice, guys. It's actually nice and clear, or smooth. At the bottom, of course, I'm sure there's more particulate, but I poured off the top when I stored it, and I poured off the top on here. Maybe inside there's a bit more particulate, but this is a really nice, smooth, and delicious juice. And the whole thing is, this is done with minimal work on my part. Literally, you dumped in 12 whole apples, walked away for 3.5 minutes, come back, you got juice. Store your juice if you want, and keep on juicing more apples as the hopper empties. Load it up again, and every 3.5 minutes you'll be making about a quart of juice based on my testing in this episode. If you guys want to buy the best juicer with the largest hopper on the market at this time, it's a Kuvings Auto10 with hopper extension. I'll put a link down below so you guys could jump to Kuvings and get the Auto10 with my 10% off discount using coupon code DJ10. Also a link down below to the hopper extension so you guys could max out the hopper size on the Kuvings juicer. When you guys use that coupon code, not only will you get the lowest price on the Kuvings Auto10, but also Kuvings will share me a small commission, so I continue to make these videos for you guys. You know, I've tested all the different major brand juicers. Some influencers only work with one brand or another brand. I have videos on all the different major brand juicers, and I always have the latest updated information with the latest and greatest juicers that are being released in the market. So I encourage you guys, if you guys are looking for the largest XL hopper, the Kuvings Auto10 with hopper extension is it for a whopping 4.3 liters. If you guys want to store your juices under vacuum the best way possible using the pure MVP vacuum pump and the stainless steel lids, I recommend you guys getting my kit where you get the pump and 12 lids for one low price, including free shipping. That's at bit.ly/puremvp. Make sure you guys use the coupon code DJ5. That'll save you guys $5 off, and you'll get free shipping over $100. So if you guys enjoyed this episode today, learning about the best juicer in 2025 for making apple juice the easiest way possible, in a slow juicer making a cloudy juice that's more nutritious and healthy than a filtered clear juice, be sure to give this video a big thumbs up. Also share this video with other people that have apple orchards, that love apple juice, that want to juice apples in bulk or other produce items in bulk. Also be sure to click that subscribe button right down below so you don't miss my new upcoming episodes upcoming in 5 to 7 days. You don't know what new juicer I'll be unboxing, what new knowledge bombs I'll be dropping on here, or what new juicer comparisons I'll be sharing with you guys to enhance your knowledge about the best kitchen appliances to process your fruits and vegetables in the best ways possible to maximize their nutritional value and just make it easy for you to do more work in the kitchen. Make sure you click the little bell to get notified as my videos come out, and finally be sure to check past episodes. Past episodes are wealth of knowledge, over 800 episodes at this time on the channel, dedicated to you guys all about the different various juicers and equipment on the market. And I'll put some links down below to some of my favorite videos I've made in the past with the Kuvings Auto10 and the hopper extension, showing you guys how easy it is to juice in 2025. So with that, my name is John Kohler with DiscountJuicers.com. Be sure to visit DiscountJuicers.com/YouTube for special promotional offers for YouTube visitors.